stream is live. My dog is doing something in the kitchen. Our channel is going to be online shortly, presumably.
Plan 1 was foiled. Moving on to Plan 2.
Well,
Trash can. How fast can I pull
Here
over
we
this
go.
trash can and run away?
yes. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Adventure on So Many Levels, Rime of the Frostmaiden, Sound of Snow Falling. Actually, snow does make a sound, like you can hear it sometimes if it's quiet enough.
It's kind of a hissing sound.
Yes.
I'm Christiana Ellis, and I'm the Dungeon Master, and our players tonight, Nobilis as Marcher Northwind,
Hello.
Jason Banks as Rowan Gregor. Oh, you're muted, I think.
I was, no.
Now we hear you.
Is that what Rowan
You
sounds
got it
like?
straight now. That's fine.
Yeah. David Archambault as Wilfred Cole.
Hello.
And Lee Burdett as Iggy.
Hello.
All right. We are still missing Paul Weimer as Aule, who's going to be back in a couple of weeks. And tonight, alas, we are also missing James Silverstein as Dox Rider Nothing. But while Aule has, left the party for the temporary period, Dox Rider will just be puppeteered by me this session. So, who remembers what happened last time?
You know,
We got friends.
I have this distinct memory of 3 kobolds in a trench coat.
That's right.
Yeah.
There was that. We also returned to the caves where we had killed the hag, and made sure of that was cleared out. And
Yeah.
I think there was a wolf and
Direwolf.
A giant frost skeleton thing.
a giant skeleton thing. Yes, which was quite challenging.
Yeah, and you discovered a little bit of fluffy lore about those
Yeah.
particular caves.
Yeah, found out why there's skeletons under the ice.
Yeah.
Yes.
But then, yes, on the way back, you encountered 3 kobolds who were traveling across the snowy plains, looking for a variety of things, really. Food and shelter, in short order, but also in general, the rest looking for the rest of the kobolds that they got separated from, and also the group of kobolds in large part was traveling because they were told to seek a white dragon who would show them the way to the new place to live. And so you've kind of adopted these 3 kobolds whose names are Brabug, Snoddock, and Trug. And they were very impressed with the slight draconic features that Marcher has. Though he is a Goliath, he has these white dragon-like spikes on his head. And that was enough that they were persuaded he was a sign, clearly would lead them to where they really need to go. And apparently right now, where that is a room in the White Lady Inn, where everyone's been sleeping in a pile on the floor in there, in Marcher's room anyway, because he is the Kobold Wrangler for now.
Yes.
But I think, everyone went to bed last night, and which just reminds me, I'm going to edit our little calendar here because it's now the 29th. If I can, there we go. So you wake up, Marcher, to the sound of quiet, hushed whispering, and the occasional sounds of what is probably tearing fabric.
Okay. I get up and see what they're doing.
They have appropriated the fur blankets on the bed, and they are currently making themselves new, better winter clothes.
Okay.
They were previously dressed in filthy weasel hides.
Right. Right. How much is going to cost to replace that blanket?
Oh,
Probably
well,
not a huge amount.
it's not going to be a huge amount by relative. Like in theory, you've got 2,500 gold worth of gemstones coming your way.
Well, I'm thinking more in terms of the cash I'm going to have
Yeah.
that I have on hand right now, um, uh, which is kind of meager, because you know I'm not thinking that that's a terrible idea. The only problem is that they really should have asked someone first. But it's kind of but correct me if I'm wrong. It's too late now. I mean, the
Well,
blanket's already kind of destroyed.
yeah, it is destroyed enough that you probably would want to. They would demand a replacement. So
Yeah, yeah,
it
okay,
is too late to salvage it in mint
right.
condition. And so the question is, now that you have bought a new blanket, do you want it as
Yeah.
a blanket, or do you want it as want to allow them to finish what they're doing?
I think I'm going to allow them to finish what they're doing. I mean, they do need warm stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want them to freeze.
So how do
So
you react when you kind of open one eye and look over and see them doing that?
um, like, hey guys,
They freeze like rabbits.
guys, come here, come here, come here.
They kind of hesitantly come over, but they're whispering to each other, just like, "You see, I told you he'd wake up. I know. We should have gone to the other room, the empty one." But
All right.
they're coming over.
Um, everything that exists in the towns here, where the humans and folks like that are, everything there has got someone somewhere that claims that thing as theirs. Everything. And when you appropriate the thing, when you take the thing for yourself, they're going to get mad. Now,
So
a blanket,
they were looking skeptical up until the only downside was they're going to get mad, and then they're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, we know that part." Yeah.
right? So, and if one person gets mad over here, and maybe you run away and go somewhere else, and one other person gets mad over there, it's not a big deal, right? Because it's just one person here and there. Eventually, enough people will get mad that they will try to kill you.
But these blankets were provided to us.
For our use, not for us to take with us. I know it's a
That was
complicated.
unclear. I think maybe next time, if
Yeah.
if you want to say this is our room, and it has our blankets in it, then I feel like there was a communication breakdown. This is not all on us here.
No. I am informing you now, so that we don't have this communication problem in the future. Okay.
Okay.
So the rule is, if I or someone give you something and say, this belongs to you, this is yours, this is a gift, or this is a reward, or this is some kind of thing that you've earned, then it's yours to do with as you please. Otherwise, check with me. And I will handle all the little nuances for you.
They hold up their shreds of fur blanket that they have started to stitch together with some sort of a mysterious twine.
Sinew or something. And
Yeah.
it's like, I will handle this. Keep it. It is, I'm giving that to you. So those blankets aren't those things you're making, they're now yours. That's fine. I will handle the people who that was belonged to before. And hopefully in the future we can have fewer events like this.
They look to each other and they kind of seem to come to some unspoken agreement. And then one of them goes back over to the bed and retrieves what is clearly a fur hat made from the blanket, and he offers it up to you.
Oh,
Like, that's lovely. Have you all of you got hats too?
This is clearly a kobold-sized hat.
Okay, you go ahead and keep it. That's fine. I will. I've got all the warm weather, the cold weather clothes that I need. So just keep it. Get to work, and I'll go straighten this out with the shopkeeper.
The marcher is very wise and generous.
And so I'm going to go down and say, tell him that I had something of a mishap overnight with the blanket, and you're probably going to need a replacement. So sorry about that, and I'll give him a gold piece to say, here, this should cover it.
Just the blanket?
Just the blanket, yes.
All right. That's
way more than it's worth. But
well, okay, you know that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that, like, his demeanor is still pretty, like, surly about it.
Yeah, and I realize it's an inconvenience, and blankets have got to be in short supply these days. But I'm hoping this will make up for it. And well, thank you for your understanding, and then get back to the room as soon as possible to make sure they don't destroy anything else.
They're currently chopping up the chair from our fire pit.
Don't give them ideas.
yeah. I just had a thought. It's a good thing this is not a town that sacrifices warmth, because destroying a blanket probably a higher cost than just much higher cost than any other place.
So, what is everyone else doing? You've had your long rest.
Yep. Make sure armor's on. Get armor on. Make sure, weapons in good condition. Look over the notes made last night on stuff, and then just get all packed up and ready for the day.
All right. I think Doc Schreider is down there enjoying some, sure, coffee, why not? No, you know what? Coffee's probably really expensive and in short supply here.
Yeah, I think probably teas and beers would
Yeah.
probably be easier to come by.
Well, there's definitely beers, because there are people who will make sure there are beers. And teas are pretty storable, so
Yeah.
yeah.
And I imagine some places they have tea, and you really don't want it. Doesn't taste real good, but it's warm, and you just don't want to think about what it's made of.
Yeah. So yeah, he's there, ready for when all of you decide what you're gonna get up to today.
So we should begin our payment today, right?
And we still have to find the little sprites. For,
Yes.
Yeah.
I was thinking that would be a good way to pass some time while we wait for them to come back.
So you're the 48 hours that Speaker Whalen had mentioned wouldn't be up until later in the day, but
Right.
but yeah, that would be today.
Yeah, that would be has the area around East Haven has been searched, right?
I mean, so I think we kind of loosely established that the lantern has a range of around a mile. And so if it's not lit right now, that pretty much means that nowhere in town is gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we established that that the half of researcher girl, I keep forgetting her name.
Yeah.
that
Huh?
she had explored around the town and within a reasonable
Yeah,
distance of the
yeah.
gates, and there was nothing around here.
Well, I think,
Danica.
yeah,
Yeah.
Danica Graysteel, yes, is her
Danica.
name, and so I think, if I didn't say so in all of her ramblings, I think she also has a general theory that any of these little spirits the ones that are more likely to be interested and curious, and therefore not hide from you, are likely to be close to a settlement anyway.
Right.
But if this lantern's not lit now, then there aren't any around East Haven
So
right now.
now we've been using the lantern just like as a lantern as we've been traveling, but we have been mostly staying close to the lake. So I was thinking that we could go off to, let me go in character. If we go southeast or south and make a kind of an arc around the town, then we can patrol that area. Over to the river, perhaps the space between East Haven and the river there, and
Yeah.
just
Using the river
Um,
as a
So bear in mind, yeah. So a mile would be, based on this scale, a mile is going to be like it's about a mile to the river.
right. So we can go to the river along the bank. I mean, I'm sure it is quite frozen, so we can cross over, perhaps go along the southern bank of that river, and then when we come to the next lake up there, we can head back to the town. And that would be a good jaunt for bring us back sometime in the afternoon.
sounds like
Yeah.
a good
How
plan.
how long would the trip to Goodmead be from here?
Let's pull that up. Let's see. So East Haven to Goodmead, is about 4.5 hours
Okay.
by foot, on foot.
Yeah,
And
on the
it's
road.
on the road.
Mm-hmm.
So like following along the river might be a little longer.
Yeah, because like even though theoretically it's like a straight line would be shorter, the road is easier to travel on.
No,
Oh.
we could travel to the wooded area near Goodmead, and that is close to a settlement, but it's not.
That's a long way to go. Why don't we try just roundabout here first? See what happens. I mean, we want to be back, basically around the time of the end of the light during the day. Anyways, to be here for when their messenger returns. So,
Yeah.
or is expected to return. So, I think that a 6 mile hike is a reasonable thing to do there, but that that would probably take 6 miles in this terrain is probably going to take us at least 3 hours, right?
Yeah. So let me pull this up. Because those like the 4.5 hours is assuming if you're traveling like on the road, right?
Right.
So overland travel, by foot on foot, without snowshoes, you can go about a 1/4 mile an hour. You could buy snowshoes. With snowshoes, you can get about a 1/2 mile an hour.
Okay, so the mile to the river is going to take us. I mean, just going to the river and back without snowshoes is going to be a whole day's travel.
Well, so if it's a mile and yeah, if you're depending on whether you get the snowshoes or not.
Right. How much are snowshoes?
Are snowshoes in the? I don't have it just right off the top of my.
1 second.
Well, I'm pretty sure. I'm I'm pretty sure the guys who came up the path with me would already have them.
Yeah, probably. Hang on, I'm just gonna see.
2 gold.
2 gold.
Yeah,
Oof. That's all that I have left right now.
that's more than I have left.
All right. So I think we are not taking snowshoes just yet. So let us just go to the river and back with the lantern and see what happens. And hopefully we will have money for snowshoes later, and we will be able to cover more ground. But let's just see what happens.
Okay. So as you are heading out, you're getting all bundled up in your cold weather clothing and wrapped up and preparing to head back out into the wilderness area. The the wind is blowing outside. And let's get us.
March is going to go out in front of all this and be like a plow, because I'm sure the snow is quite deep.
Well, especially for the kobolds.
Yeah, so he's just going to kind of push through it, making 2 big old furrows for his feet, to kind of break through that stuff for the people behind him.
Yeah, the kobolds are definitely following directly in your trail. Certainly anyone else who wants to can also. So go ahead and someone roll for me a d8.
I'll do it.
Okay.
A 1.
A 1. Okay.
A 1.
Yes. So go ahead and roll a d20 for me as well.
Okay. A 19.
Okay.
The ice dragon appears and fries us all. We're all dead.
It wouldn't fry us.
yeah.
He freezes us all, right? You get this straight here, right?
Well, when you're cold enough, the cold turns really hot.
It freezes everyone except for the kobolds who immediately say, "Master, master!" and he carries them away, only to eat them later.
Okay. So you're definitely out there, trudging along. You don't have too far to go, and you have the river to kind of, bound your planned travel. So not that Rowan or Marcher would be likely to get lost in this small a journey, but you also just have that, you're going to go approximately southeast until you get to the river, right?
Yep, that's the plan. Yes.
And you'll still essentially be able to, worst case scenario, you follow the river back to the lake and then the lake back around to the city, right?
Right. Right.
So, what you while you're out there, hang on. Okay, so you're having those of you who are not used to traveling with the snowshoes are probably like, this is a lot of work. It's hard travel. You're going through frequently waist deep snow, if not more than that sometimes, and kind of trudging through. In some ways, though, that's almost like you're half out of the wind when you're in that. So you're definitely getting the snow crusting to the sides of your furs that you've got around you, but the moon is showing off the snow out here, and it's very cold, but kind of beautiful in its way too. And so after a while, when you are you've been out there for a bit, you are getting close to the river, and you see just across the river, which is frozen, you see a herd of elk. Looks like about 14 of them are just grazing, just across the river. Like they're foraging rather. Like they're kind of pawing through the snow looking for.
And about how far away is that?
Well, so it's just across the river. So you've been going for a few hours and you reach the river, and you see them across the river.
Do we want to go hunting or leave them be?
I was saying that.
I don't think we want to be dragging a carcass all the way back to town this way.
True.
Yeah.
But I was saying that my crossbow has a bit of a reach. It's
Yes, but I don't think you could bring it down in one shot.
Yeah.
I think we can
True.
you can leave this, especially since there's a number of them and they might stampede us. So
yeah.
I think we leave them alone.
Okay.
So, other than the herd of elk that you see, there's not really much else that breaks the monotony of trudging through the snow, and the lantern does not glow green.
Okay.
Well,
We could
keep traveling along the river.
yes, but we are already used up half the day. It will take us as long to get back. So I think we should just retrace our steps and return to the town.
yeah. Sounds like a good
Alright.
idea.
Well, if nothing else, is kind of a practice expedition for when you might start making some longer journeys. Obviously, Rowan and Marcher have some background doing that, but I think, I think everyone has at least some experience with that. So I guess I shouldn't make it sound like it's brand new, but
Yeah.
Well, while we were out, did I see anything similar to that white-faced thing I saw on my journey up?
No, you haven't seen anything like that here. I will certainly let you know if anything like that shows up. Or at the very least, if you roll high enough to notice. So you are heading back into town. It's another several hours of trudging. You've worked up an appetite, I'm sure. So you are getting back into town just about at the limit of what you can sort of reasonably travel in a day without starting to risk exhaustion. But you do make your way back into East Haven. Are you heading anywhere specific? Are you heading straight back to the inn, or?
Well, no, I think we want to go to the town hall because that's where the gems are coming.
Right. Okay.
So we'll head to the town hall.
Okay. So, let's take you to the town hall map.
If I was playing Zia, I would be expressing doubt that the gems would be waiting for us there, but
So
I'm not. So.
let me just move everyone back over to
Yeah.
where they should be, coming in front here. So hang on. Give me just a moment, because what you find upon your immediate arrival is that there's no one in the front office, even though it kind of feels like this is still in the sort of the hours that you would expect there to be, some activity.
Okay, well, let's go back to where we have talked to people before.
Yeah. Okay.
Knock on this door.
All right.
Oh.
Yeah, just a second, 'cause I'm just reading to make sure I know what's happening here. Excuse me. Okay, there we go. Give me a moment to move. All right. Yeah. All right. So, you go to knock on the door to that room where you met with some people there. That's where you had sat and talked with Captain Argalath and Speaker Wayland before. You knock and there's no answer.
Try to open the door.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think. How did we?
Please don't let everybody be dead. Please don't let everybody be dead.
How did I fix this before with to make the door open?
Don't you have to delete it or something?
Oh, that's right. That's what it was. Yeah. Here we go. So open the door, and there it is. It's empty of people, but also it looks like some of the drawers in the desks and stuff have been like rifled through
This is not
and
good.
left a little bit messy.
All right.
Go to the desk and see if anything is. Hi. See if there's anything.
We need to check and see if that cauldron is still here.
Yeah, Ig's gonna peek through the door.
Hey, there's
This-
there's Ale.
Yeah. Oh, is he on? Where's the?
Yeah, he's in the.
Oh,
Hi.
yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Let me.
I'm gonna go with Iggy.
All right. Yeah. So as you make your way through, you look through the door, of course, and once again you see this sort of warehouse-like room, has the balcony overhead and the pillars, and you once again see this awful Charlatan figurehead. There's no sign this time of the White Lady.
Mm-hmm.
But make a perception check.
Okay.
Just Iggy or
Everyone can. Oh, I forgot.
19.
I should have to move Doc Strider. Oh, and here's the other thing that I should put on the map here. I made tokens for Trug, Snoddock, and Brabug.
Oh, nice. They look so cute.
All right, so I'm going to just kind of have them here for my ease of use, but we can talk about it. So, who made some perception checks for me?
I got a 19.
19?
so did I.
Yeah.
Yay!
Okay, so I think you hear, just kind of at the very limits of your perception, you hear what sounds like a banging, like of something, like maybe something like metal against stone or something like that. And it sounds like it's coming from like below you.
Okay.
There's stairs right over there.
Yeah.
All right.
Is it dark down there?
I believe it is. Let me just check the description here. So, no, I think it is actually lit down there.
Okay.
Oops.
I'm gonna go ahead and take out my longbow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, got Wilfred has his hammer ready
Okay.
because
All right. So let me move. Who's going down first? Like, what's the? This is a single file stairwell here.
Yeah, Ig's going last because he's the squishiest.
I think Wilfred will go first.
Okay.
'Cause that
March will go second.
All right.
I'll follow behind him.
So, okay. And then Iggy's going last, so I guess
Yep.
we got Doc Strider and the Kobolds. Oops. Coming along too, and no, hang on. So yeah, I'm gonna have to move everybody down a little bit to make room here.
Yeah, Ig will just sit on the stairs and whatever he can fire
No.
agonizing blasts at.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have the kobolds kind of just clumped up together, huddled. But yeah, so as
Maybe
you
they're in their
There
jack,
we go.
I
pretending to be.
no, they're not in their disguise right now.
Okay.
Or sure they are. Why not? Okay, so stone stairs covered with wooden planks lead down to what looks like a dungeon, which is hewn out of solid rock. And so you've entered this sort of come down these narrow stairs. There's a long, narrow corridor that goes off in either direction. Over to the west, you can see that the hallway curves and continues. There's a variety of doors. But down here, you definitely hear more sort of banging and thumping. And in fact, down here, you hear also what sound like muffled voices. Like shouting voices, like coming from the west.
Then go west, young man.
I'm going to keep an eye down the hallway behind us.
Okay.
While they start.
All right. So there is a door at the far end there, but otherwise it's a dead end in that direction.
Can we see like the doors on north and south? Are they just solid doors or?
Well, give me a moment, and I will describe them. So the each of these cells sports a locked iron door with a 5-inch square iron shuttered window built into it, for like looking through, right? But they're all closed right now, and right now, the first one these first two that you come to, seem relatively still, but the one that's just ahead on the left, you do hear, thumping at that one, and it's kind of thump, thump, thump.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear probably, kind of a horse saying, "Anyone out there?"
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I go up to there and
Look inside.
open the thing to look inside?
You see what looks like this is a young dwarf woman who is wearing one of the town militia patches on her coat. That she sort of jumps back and just says, "Oh, thank God!" But who are you? Like, are you like? Get us out of here, please.
What's going on?
They're militia. They've been.
Yeah. So
someone's.
we were attacked, and people stole the cauldron and locked us all in these cells.
So we need to get them out, and someone picked the lock.
Yeah, there are keys, but they had them obviously.
Does anybody know how to pick a lock?
Yeah.
Any of you?
Can you?
Doc Schrader might. Let me get his.
I mean, I can take a stab at it.
Yeah.
Do you have tools?
Hang on. I think Doc Schrader actually might have that. So give me a moment to pull up his sheet.
Yeah. I might be able to batter the door down, but that would probably be bad.
And make too much noise.
Yeah. So he does have thieves' tools proficiency. So he's going to
Step out
roll.
of the way. I will step out of the way and think.
Yeah. So Doc Schrader comes up and says, "Sure, if you'll just give me a moment." Let's see if it specifically says what. Yeah. So he rolls a 19, and that is enough. So that does open the door. And you can see this this young dwarf woman that uses a generic token.
So, who all's down here? Do you
Well,
know?
I mean, I know that there were 4 of us that were guarding the cauldron, and then I think they brought down Captain Argalath and Speaker Wayland too, but they got beat up a bit more. I hope they're okay. And she's like looking around at the other cells. Like, who are you?
We're the Seekers.
Oh, you're the ones that brought the cauldron.
Yes.
Yeah.
Um,
And you're hearing a lot more thumping from the other doors now because they're definitely they
I
can hear stuff's going on.
you go
while
you,
they
move up.
while they unlock the other gates,
Mm-hmm.
let's check ahead and see if anyone else is here.
All right.
Yeah.
Sure. So I can have Doc Strider can just by taking time to do it eventually pick all of these locks, but that will take a little while. So you guys have him give him priorities.
I
we're
want to
gonna-
ask this woman this, like, is this entire wing down here cells, or does it go off to any other areas?
Well, the one at the end of the room up there to the north is the interrogation room. The one over to the east is the our break room.
But there's nothing there that the raiders would want. They're not in this direction.
I mean, I wouldn't think so. We don't normally keep anything in there, but of course
Okay.
that is where we were storing the cauldron.
What's that door down there?
Which
The
one
one
up-
I'm standing in front of?
Yes.
the one to the east is the break room,
Oh,
Okay.
and the
okay.
one to the north is the interrogation room.
All right.
Okay.
So, Doc Strider, get these people out. We need to go back upstairs and look
Aye.
around further.
I think Wilford will look and see which one has a town speaker,
Okay.
and
Yeah, he is in the northwestmost one. This one.
Okay.
is he conscious?
He is, but he looks beat up.
Okay.
Like,
I would say that one is a priority.
okay.
It's a Doc's right. Town speaker's in here.
So yeah, we can go ahead and he'll go ahead and let him out. I'll just go ahead and just open all of them. I don't see any reason to mess around with it.
If we
Are you
need an
guys
order,
checking
I'd
the other
say
rooms?
The captain would be second, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So I've opened all of the ones that had anyone in them.
Okay.
So what are you guys doing?
Going back upstairs.
You're not even looking in the other rooms?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna look in the break room.
I mean, it's one thing to say there isn't anything in there. It's another thing to say we're going
Well, I think
upstairs
there's
without even looking through the door.
it's a matter of time. But
Well,
okay.
you didn't
Yeah.
ask
Also
them how
gonna-
long they've been in there. Her voice
Alright.
is hoarse from shouting for hours.
Yeah.
Who attacked you? I asked the speaker. I was like, "Who attacked you?"
He looks distraught. He says, "I mean, I didn't recognize any of the people who came in. They were wearing, they were masked. They were all masked up. I didn't recognize them. They could have come from anywhere, but Prudence was with them, I guess. Like I didn't even tell anyone. Like when I sent for the gemstones, I didn't even say what it was for. But they knew it, and they took Prudence, greeted them, let them in, and was working with them all along. Apparently, she's been working here for 3 years, but all this time, I guess she was just waiting for an opportunity to betray me or something, and
That's a lot of money. So
Yeah.
let's see if we can find any clues as to where they went.
Alright.
Okay.
Wilfred's going to look in the interrogation room.
Okay. So the in there, there is a circular wooden table in there that's been overturned, spilling a deck of cards all over the floor. And you gather that one of the guards can tell you it's like they were in there with the cauldron when the attack came, and they were basically taken so off guard that they were all basically taken out before they could really even do anything.
How long has it been since the attack happened?
A couple of hours.
Okay.
The closest place that they could go would be Goodmead. There is the wooded area outside of Goodmead that I mentioned earlier, because I don't think they would take to the foothills.
Well, but they're going to be dragging a giant cauldron around with them. I mean, they came from
It's-
somewhere.
Let's see if we can find some more. Look around for more
Yeah.
clues. Just to-
So the interrogation room is got a sturdy oak chair fitted with iron manacles, and then there's a mop and a wooden bucket in the corner.
Does it look like anything's been disturbed in here?
No.
Okay. Nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing.
And the break room?
Yeah. So I mean, the break room I just described, it was that had
Yeah.
the table that was overturned and the cards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna
Okay.
go upstairs and go outside,
Okay. So let me just.
and I'll see if I can find tracks of them taking that cauldron.
Right. So go ahead and so the timeline that you start picking up from everybody here is that just after the period of light for the day finished, you would have. Do you guys see and everything? Like I just my the
Yep.
the lighting just broke for me.
Yeah, we
Yep.
see it.
Yep.
Okay. But okay, there we go. Good. Yeah. So basically, the attack came just after the twilight period ended, and so everyone who's like, so if you want to look for any tracks or clues or signs, that's going to be a survival check. If you're looking for like tracks outside, or if you're looking for other clues, that's an investigation check. Either way, I need you to tell me where you're doing it.
Right.
Is there a back entrance to this building, to the town hall?
There's a side entrance right here.
Well, yeah.
And that is very conveniently located at a straight line from the stairs.
Yes. So I will head out that door
Mm-hmm.
and look for tracks out there.
Okay.
Wilfred is going to look for any signs of any information they might any useful information in the office
Okay.
where the
They're dragging that cauldron, it will make a significant trail.
Mhm.
If they're carrying it, they'll still have a hard time making that secret. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So, how is a nat 20 along with so a nat 20 plus 8
Okay.
Wow.
Where were you looking? Were you looking outside as well?
outside of the side door.
The side door. Okay, so I was about to give anyone advantage because Marcher was doing that too, but natural 20 certainly works. Yeah, you see definitely as soon as it's past the interior of the stone floor, you see that there are a number of recent footprints that have come both directions through there, but also places that it looks like a large round thing was dragged through the snow. You see a place where it was dragged about 15 feet away from the building, and after that you see a lot of what look like axe beak footprints. The big like pack birds.
They put it on the birds. Well,
We'll need to either get our own, or we'll need to get a dog sled. If we're
I don't have
going to catch
the
up.
money for that.
How much
Yeah.
would a dog sled be?
Dog sled. Hang on. So that's something that would be a very obvious need in order to get around in this land.
Would the speaker
but,
of the town? Would the speaker of the town be willing to let us?
Under rescue?
Yeah. Would he allow us to
Well,
pursue this?
He is right now thinking about a couple of things, and one of those things is the fact that so he'll let you know that at least thankfully the gemstones had not actually arrived yet when this all happened. But they also still haven't. So they don't know if those were also stolen or what. but certainly Prudence knew about them. And
I can't
so,
imagine that if she was going to do this, that she wouldn't also have find a way to get her hands on the stones.
right, but if they got those, they got them out. They didn't get them here. They would have had to intercept the courier.
It wouldn't be too hard if you knew who the courier was.
Right.
And-
And if you were a familiar face, that the courier would have said, "Oh, hi, I know you. You've worked there for Speaker Whalen for 3 years."
It's and to be fair, that's a moot point.
Right.
We're losing time. If they've got the pack animals and a sled, we're losing a lot of time. They're gaining much distance on us. I've got their tracks, so we can follow. We just need a way to keep up with them and catch up.
Hi. Funnily enough, dog sled is an item in D&D Beyond.
Yeah, I'm having trouble. Like, there's a specific like handout thing that's supposed to have this stuff on it, and it's just not coming up for me right now, for some reason.
Yeah. But what it says in D&D Beyond is 20 gold per purchase.
But if we rent,
Yeah.
that might be
Or-
significantly less.
If we're just given one by the lovely speaker of the town, to go ahead and pursue these criminals.
Well, I mean, if they've got
The
several
dog sled
hours
won't
of
carry
head
all
start,
of us.
though.
It's not like a bus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really more like a mule, like having a mule. Like, it's good for carrying a lot of stuff. It's less of you don't all ride on one dog sled.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it would be better if they had like axe beaks for the
For a
militia.
or a sleigh.
Sorry, I'm distracted just because like the one there's sorry, I'm moving windows around because it's not. It must have like hidden the one thing that I was trying to look at, which is aggravating.
My investigation check for the office is 7.
Okay, yeah, I think that you clearly find that, you know, some of the desk drawers and stuff have been like rifled through, maybe looking for important papers, but you don't really gain any additional clues. The kobolds seem very excited at all the activity and the, you know, clear energy in the air. The Speaker Whalen is frankly looking like defeated. Like, this is he's you can imagine in his mind, he is already foreseeing being run out of town as a failure of a speaker, because he has not only called in all of the debts of the town, gotten that stolen, but betrayed by someone right under his nose and lost the powerful magical item. He's having a hard time.
I looked at him and the fact that we
Tinker.
have their trail means not all hope is lost. So the faster we can get after them, the better your chances of staying the speaker of this town will be.
I mean, if you can, I literally cannot promise you more than I had already promised you for the cauldron, and now that's gone. But I would certainly be enormously grateful if you could recover it in any way. If it helps,
It is to our advantage to work together on this. You don't need to reward us. Just get us something that we can chase them with.
What do you want?
Axe beaks.
No, axe beaks.
Okay,
Axe
axe beaks are also pack animals. You do not ride them. They are not faster by riding.
Okay,
Okay.
then but we need our snowshoes.
Yeah. So a dog sled can be faster, but it's a little unclear, and part of the reason I'm stalling on this is because the exact handout that has this information on it won't come up right now.
Now, but here's the deal. This is my favorite. This is my domain. This is my terrain. Because I'm not slowed by difficult terrain in this, can we not just pursue them on foot because I'm leading the party?
You can hang on. Just why? Okay, you know what? I'm going to briefly log out of Roll20 and then log back in because this is maddening. Okay.
Okay.
All right, I gotta log back in. Okay. All right, hopefully this will.
Okay.
So
Well, at least we know they're not on
There we
They're
go.
not mounted.
Axe beak
yes.
back. Yeah, they're not mounted. So yeah.
You
Right.
just put the cauldron on an axe beak.
Right. But they have a couple of hours head start. So,
Yeah.
Right.
all right.
Yeah.
So, overland travel. So, technically, if you do have a dog sled, okay. So, yeah, what it says is, okay, I was a little bit wrong. You can use a dog sled for faster travel, and he can arrange to yeah, okay. I mean, he can arrange to get you a dog sled, but he also doesn't know that they don't have, yes, fine, you get a dog sled. But the problem, okay, so the thing with the dog sled is that you need, more than one dog. Where is this information? It's not where I thought it was. I'm sorry this is taking me so long. I frankly was not expecting to suddenly be talking about dog sled, which is not your fault. Yeah, so I'm sorry. My apologies. I'm a little bit flustered. Just let me take a moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you do travel faster by dog sled. And so if you have dog sled, you cut the travel time on the roads by half.
Okay.
But you're also needing to account for the, how many dogs you have, how much weight you're carrying, because you can carry stuff, but that could also be a person, right?
Yeah.
But
Right.
each dog can pull a certain amount of weight. And so you get, your sled, and then however many dogs you have. Where is okay, here we go. Dog sleds. Okay. Empty sled costs 20 gold, weighs 300 pounds, has room at the back for one driver. And so one person is driver and is not counted amongst the cargo space. And then for a sled dog, each sled dog costs 50 gold pieces and pulls 360 pounds. So if you need to pull more than 360 pounds, then you need more than one dog. And sled dogs need to take a short rest after pulling a sled for 1 hour. Otherwise, they gain one level of exhaustion. But that is accounted for in saying that you travel basically twice as fast. So you need not just a sled for 20 gold, but sled. And if you want all of you to go together, then let's roughly estimate what. So,
This is going to be really complicated.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
Okay, if there are 4 of us, if there are 5 of us who are going, what about 3 sleds and dogs for them?
okay. So,
Can we get that together to pursue these guys?
that's why you don't need 3. 3 sleds is not more helpful in that regard.
Okay. I'm just thinking of how much, I mean,
Okay, the rules for this are not as clear as they ought to be, because I'm just it tells you those basic things that I just told you. But the other thing is that what Speaker Wayland is going to say is, I am very eager to help you, but I don't own those dog sleds or those sled dogs. And right now, I will not be able to pay the kennel owner for them. But
can we get, then let's see if we can get some snowshoes. Can we get us each a set of snowshoes?
yes, we can
Maybe
definitely
from
do
the
that.
militia, and we will pursue them on foot.
Yes.
And if it takes us,
Yeah.
some time to catch up with them, well, then it takes us some time to
Yeah,
catch up with them.
because if you were well, the other thing is, he's saying they're several hours ahead of you. They're going to have time to get where they're going before you could catch up anyway. is what he seems like to be saying. Like, is that as if you don't lose the trail. Now, he's being a little bit defeatist right now, so, like, I can understand that's frustrating. But he's also, experienced in these towns and knows that, like...
Yeah.
They will be taking them to a place where they can convert them to cash.
Well,
So they're gonna
right,
be
but
going-
that's not going to be just anywhere.
That's going to
And
be.
so that's
gonna be
why
a place
I-
we were going to take them.
Okay, but there's a difference between saying, let's depend on the possibility of continuing to follow their several hours old trail through the night versus trying to figure out where they're going, actually.
Well, sometimes knowing where they're going can be, can give us an idea of how to prepare to
Yeah.
get it back.
All right. Do we need snowshoes to use the roads?
No.
Okay. Then let's just go. Let's just
Yeah.
go
Let's just go.
to that larger town where we were going to try and cash in the gems anyways. And
So
and
to
try
be
and catch up
clear,
to them.
this is how the adventure describes using dog sleds or axe beaks. Most 10-towners travel from town to town on foot. Those who need to transport more goods than they can carry use wooden sleds pulled by dogs or domesticated axe beaks as pack animals. Now, that said, it also does say that by using dog sleds, you cut the time it takes to get from town to town in half, but at a considerable cost, because if you wanted to get enough sleds and dogs to carry all of you, we're talking about like 700-800 gold.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not quite that much, but
So
like
let's
several
just
hundred.
go.
Okay.
Because it'll take time to get all that arranged anyway. So let's just
Okay.
go.
Like Captain of the
So-
Garden.
I have been okay. We've gotten so lost in the weeds right here. I've literally been trying to have the NPC tell you for 15 minutes what he knows about Prudence, who was apparently working with them.
Okay.
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 But you guys are, and again, I'm not putting this on you. I'm just trying to like cool us down from the dog sled, which is to say, the guy who owns the dog sleds does not want to give them up for free, and if he doesn't see cash, he's not going to give them up. And the secret thing that got stolen from the speaker does not impress him much.
Okay.
So, he says, I have dog sleds if you have gold. But not otherwise.
Only money.
Yeah. Now there is he does have, they don't have petty cash, but they can negotiate the relatively modest cost of getting snowshoes for everybody, which technically speaking, you don't actually need on the roads.
Right.
But what he's been trying to say is that the only real clue he has is that Prudence has family in Targos, and that's where she's from.
Can we have the big campaign
Yeah.
map?
I'm sorry that kind of turned complicated, everyone. Just like you guys were just in a hurry to understand exactly how these complicated dog sled rules work, and I was not as prepared as I meant to be. I apologize.
All
No
right.
worries.
Then let's just get going toward Bryn Shander. That's if I was going to sell these gems, that's probably where I would do it, and then should probably go on to Targos after that.
Targos is also pretty big. So that's Rowan would certainly know that like Targos is the second biggest city in 10 towns.
So
But,
we're going to.
But yeah,
So what I think we should do is go to Bryn Shander, check with them as to whether anyone has come in to find whoever is the most likely person to where you would sell these things. Ask them if somebody has come in selling these 5 gems. If not, then just keep going to Targos. And stay as short as possible in Bryn Shander.
all right.
So I think just in case the trail starts leading off road, maybe I having snowshoes would be a snowshoes available might be a good idea.
You all have
Yeah.
snowshoes now. Poof.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Doesn't matter on the roads, but you
Let's
all
go.
have snowshoes now.
Rowan, lead the way.
All right. So, you are, bear in mind, part of the reason I wasn't expecting this to be right away is like, you already marched through the snow all day.
Yeah.
Every hour
Yeah.
that you travel out in the cold right now, you're going to need to make checks against exhaustion.
Yeah.
Do you want to do that?
I mean, I can handle it pretty well. I'm, yeah. But
It's a long way to Bryn Shander.
It's 7.5 hours by road. Yeah.
Are all of you going to make that trip in the middle of by marching all night?
Not something I've not done before.
It's possible we could take a short rest after 4 hours or so. I think I'll probably be okay.
A short rest won't help exhaustion.
Yeah, I know. But just, for flavor.
I mean,
Yeah. But no, if we need to go, we need to go. And I'll make do.
I think looking at the math of it, 7 rolls, assuming we're gonna if we make it through without anybody dropping dead of exhaustion, we'll get to Bryn Shander dead on our feet.
Mm-hmm.
Probably gonna have people with 2 or 3 or 4 levels of exhaustion. The chances that all of us will be in any kind of shape when we get there are literally none.
Yeah, so the way Forced March rules work is for each additional hour of travel beyond 8 hours, you make your distance, and then you make a Constitution saving throw with a DC of 10 plus 1 for each hour past 8 hours.
Right.
And if you fail the saving throw, you get a level of exhaustion.
And at a certain level, your speed drops.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think our chances of making that all the way to Bryn Shander are slim.
Okay.
okay. How's this for an idea? We follow the tracks to make sure we know what direction they're going. Out of town, what direction they're going.
I can go ahead and just verify that you can see that the axe beaks were actually not carrying the cauldron, but they were still dragging it across the snow, and so it's a relatively easy trail to follow, like while you're in town. But certainly once you're out of town and the wind is able to just whip across the road as much, the trail is progressively harder and harder to see. But it does proceed out of town, to the west. But of course, that's really the only road out of East Haven.
Right.
But
right.
they do take the road though.
Okay. They're heading the road west. I think that's a good enough indication that they're going to Bryn Shander and then Targos. Let's just. I don't think we can catch up with them on the road.
Yeah.
I don't think that's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's
So, as much as I would like to immediately go, then I think we need to rest here first.
Yeah, and so Speaker Whalen is a little bit like he's collected himself a little bit. And he's just trying to calm himself and just say, I absolutely appreciate your sense of urgency, and I really have to apologize that we the leak was in my office right under my nose, and they apparently
It's a lot
managed
of
to.
money. I'm not surprised somebody was tempted by it.
Well, right, but that's why I thought that I was telling only the need-to-know people, my best guards, my personal assistant. But
And let us also not leave aside the possibility that there was magic involved.
well, here's the thing. It happened so fast. I dispatched our courier to go get the gems, and he hadn't even made it back yet. So, how did they find out and then get here as fast as they did?
You're I actually that brings up questions like we noticed your office was a bit ransacked. Do you know if anything was taken from there?
Well, I mean, it's not my office. My office is in the, points in the other room, but I mean, that's where Prudence sat.
Okay. All right. Okay. The front meeting room. Where the,
I mean, we
was
don't
anything important
generally
kept in there?
carry, we don't have important documents there. We have other places for those.
Maybe verify that nothing important's missing from the rest.
I mean, well, yeah, I'll have everyone do an inventory here, but I mean, when they came in, they knew where they were, they knew what they were here for, and they knew where to go to get it, and they went down to get it. Now, if they took other things too, I mean, that's possible, but it was very obvious what they were here for.
Perhaps we might look for a look through Prudence's home, see if there might be some evidence there, or some, correspondence.
I mean, sure. I have no objection to that. She's apparently was a spy all this time or something.
Maybe.
Or maybe she just saw an opportunity and wanted to save her family specifically.
And knew 4 people that would be able to come in masks in 24 hours notice that are capable of besting my militia. That's not a sudden thing.
Right.
Yeah.
She had to know someone who could do that.
Yeah. Okay. So, go. So we go to her house and take a look around.
I think what you find is that it is someone has clearly packed in a hurry and left a lot of things behind.
Nothing. No letters or anything.
No, you
Okay.
definitely get the sense that if there had been anything incriminating, she took it with her.
Okay. So yeah, let's go. Rest
But
up and-
that if nothing else is further evidence that she had planned this, right? There's not a half-eaten sandwich on the table. She clearly had time to pack up her important possessions and take them with her.
Yeah. So, go rest up and be ready for ready to get going as soon as we can.
All right.
Yeah.
So we head back to the White Lady Inn.
Yes.
I think the kobolds are getting even more antsy. Part of that, you wouldn't be surprised, is just all of the excitement, but also tonight is the full moon. Which, kobolds don't necessarily have anything specific on the full moon, right? But, that is, there's a lot of light out there, even with the darkness. And there was this brief talk of are we going to go get a dog sled? And are we going somewhere right now? What's going on? And everything's happening. So they're very fidgety, Marcher, and you suspect they're feeling the need to blow off some steam.
Blow off steam.
Go out back and run circles a little bit.
Yeah, they're also. I think I think you probably throughout the day kept getting asked like, when are we going to find the white dragon? Are we going to find the white dragon now? What are we when are we going to find the white dragon?
All right, guys. Let me tell you something. We are not finding the white dragon. If you want to do that, be my guest. You now have warmer clothes. Go have fun. We are going to travel together. And if we hear about a dragon sighting, we will tell you and say, oh, the dragon was seen in such and such a place. And that will be information useful to finding where the dragon's lair is. Because ultimately what you want is the dragon's lair.
Well, I mean, if we find the dragon anywhere, we talk to them and like
Right.
they help us. We don't have to
Right,
find
but-
we don't
but-
have to find the lair. The dragon will tell us where the lair is.
Right, but if he's way up in the sky, you can't talk to him. And that's all that anyone ever sees is just the dragon in the sky.
Well, if we see the dragon in the sky, we'll just wave our arms and shout, and they literally start just like waving their arms and jumping around and shouting at full voice of, hey, dragon, come down here. And there's definitely people looking.
I hate to tell you this. I think I know dragons better than you do. That's not going to work.
Make a persuasion check.
12.
They're listening still.
This is a long quest. This is a quest worthy of long stories, worthy of epics. If we were to just say, oh, the dragon, he's right over there. It's right at the top of that hill, we just go and get him.
They look excitedly in that direction.
And he was there. What kind of story would that be? What would you tell your hatchlings about this, when you are living in the great majestic shadow of a dragon? What kind of story? That is not the story.
Well, but
This is a story that will take a long time to live and a long time to tell when the day comes.
I think it
So-
still would be better if we found the dragon faster.
Yes. But trust me. Okay, what is it you would like me to do?
Well, I thought we were going to try to find a white dragon.
Right. We're doing that. How would you like me to do that? Given that you seem to know better than I do.
Well, they're definitely looking a little bit cowed now.
Okay.
Like,
So here's the thing. I can talk to people that we meet along the way and find and hear about rumors about the dragon. Gather information. I think you would have harder time of that. Yes? I think you will agree that people will talk to me who will not talk to you.
that's probably true.
Okay.
But
So,
did those people know
you
where the
want-
white dragon is?
someone will have seen him lately. Someone will have heard stories. We will collect the stories of the dragons as we travel from one town to another. And once we have heard a few of these stories, maybe we'll be able to make a better guess as to where the dragon is. Now,
All right.
we have little information that the dragon might be out on that glacier off to the east. It's a long way from here. If you want to go that way and find your way up to that glacier, you go right ahead. It's a huge glacier. And there are lots of people there who are not friends of kobolds. But if that is what you want to do, if you want to immediately do that, no one is stopping you. I do not own you.
They definitely
Or-
don't want to do that. They don't want to go by themselves.
All right then. If you do not want to go by yourself, then if you want to go with us, then you will go with us where we go. That is how it is.
Who knows? Maybe you'll have.
Okay, but we've been following you all day, and you haven't asked anyone about the white dragon even once.
We did that yesterday. We did, in fact, do that yesterday.
All right.
We will do that. We will we'll get new stories when we go to a new town.
We're doing that tomorrow?
That is what we will do tomorrow. We will travel to another town tomorrow.
All right.
And when we get there, we will ask about dragons. We'll...
That seems to satisfy them for now.
Yeah, I thought could be is that and as we go along, do great deeds, become a hero, make yourself be more worthy of serving a dragon. Instead of being a servant, instead of being a meal.
I think all of you, any of you who try that line of reasoning, find that they don't seem very receptive to it. They don't seem interested in being a hero. What they seem interested in is a better place to live, which their leader told them a white dragon would lead them to. And that sounds like something likely to them.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're not necessarily opposed to doing what it takes to make that happen, but the idea of, oh no, you have to build up a story first, you have to have these accomplishments so you can impress the dragon, they're like, dragon's not going to be impressed by anything we can do. The dragon wants servants, and we can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yes, they seem, at least willing to continue to wait. But yeah, they definitely are a little impatient. All right, so everyone's going back for a long rest and then what, hitting the road first thing?
Yep, that's what we'll do.
All right. So, we're going to get on the road and head towards Bryn Shander along the Eastway. Someone roll a d8 for me.
I'll do it. A 3.
3. All right. Your journey, although cold, is uneventful. And you make your way. As you get close to Bryn Shander, it becomes a sort of a steep uphill path. Bryn Shander is up kind of on the top of a big hill, and you can see there's definitely this is a walled city. And so you're approaching, and let's take you over to the Bryn Shander map.
Can we also say that we had the like basically like every so often turn at the lantern up?
Yeah. So as you're someone roll a d20 for me.
I'll go ahead and do it.
Oh.
Oh.
Hey, Jason, is there a reason you moved the camera down to your mouse?
Oh, the camera fell.
Oh, see, we thought you did that on purpose for something, but then it kind of stayed that way.
No, I bumped my table.
Oh.
I'm wasting these 20s. This is terrible.
So you got
Did
it.
you roll a 20?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Let's hang on. Let me double check what that actually.
Don't expect me to fight anything. It's going to be all net ones from here.
Yeah.
I really need to step away, folks. I'm
Okay. Are you?
I'm in desperate need of a bio break.
Oh, okay. Well, let's just everyone can take one right now. We'll just do a quick 5-minute bio break for anyone who needs one. All right. All right. So. So I think part of the reason I was not as prepared for you to just be, it makes perfect sense in hindsight. The idea of like, oh well, we're just hours behind them. We can't let them get away. We're losing time. We have to go right now. But I think just because like I sort of like wasn't expecting you to be in quite such a hurry. I hadn't like prepared thoughts on the dog sled. I think just in my head, I had already made the like assumption that you wouldn't do it right away because it was A, too expensive, and B, you had already traveled all day. But at the same time, like it obviously makes like all of your reasons made sense, and I did not prepared to shoot them down right away. It's like,
Yeah, and though, but then again, like, I'm sure we could get a letter. We could have got a letter from the captain of the guard in East Haven to go with the captain of the guard or whomever in Brinchander to explain what's going on, so we could find out any information they may know about folks coming in, especially with the axe beaks, because those aren't things you can just hide. You can't hide giant chocobos.
Right. So one of the things, though, that you probably this might have come up just as you're preparing to go there, is that although certainly the word of the town speaker or the captain of the militia in East Haven will carry some weight, like they really don't have any actual jurisdiction in any of the other towns. It's more a matter of like the town speaker of Bryn Shander might care about what the town speaker of East Haven has to say, but that doesn't necessarily give you the authority to do anything. So, Jason, did you like your camera's just off now?
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
So, did it come unplugged?
Oh well, so now you've swapped places with Nobilis because you're turning the cameras on and off. That's fine. It's fine. There's not a problem. I just move you around.
Yeah, I because it sits precariously perched on my monitor, and I bumped my table, and I didn't realize it had fallen down.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be like them to give us, like to deputize us or anything, but at least to, because I think the guards in Brinchander would probably want to know about a crew that potentially could be there that was willing enough to, beat down, capture guards and beat up a town speaker and steal items from them.
Yeah, I think, though, that what you would know, Rowan, living in 10 Towns, is that there's really not that much control. The 10 Towns is very much a place where people mind their own business. So, yeah, so it's kind of like, oh, a bunch of people with axe beaks dragging a cauldron. Huh, okay. Whatever, not my business. And so the idea that like if you talk to someone and give them some reason to be cooperative and they happen to have seen it, maybe they'll tell you, but there's not any kind of an organized thing of check with the gates and see if their log says that people came through with axe beaks. Like there's not that level of bureaucracy.
Well, I wonder, like, actually checking with gate guards to see if they see something might be
I think we'll probably have more trouble getting those gems back than we will tracking the cauldron.
Oh, I'm definitely thinking, and to be fair, I think the cauldron is more valuable than those gems, because given the climate and the way things are going since the snow has come, that cauldron is valuable.
But think about it, it's also limited. It'll only make a certain number of meals a certain number of times a day. It's not like it's a never-ending cauldron of food or something like that. It only makes it a certain amount 3 times a day.
I mean, but still, I mean,
that's guaranteeing a certain number of people have food for.
Yeah, indefinitely.
yeah, it's still very valuable. Like, I mean, so the right person, yeah, sure, they can't feed a town with it, but an unsavory character who may want to keep something to himself or themselves would definitely find use for it.
Oh yeah, I'm not arguing. I'm not arguing about that. It's just the relative of he said, she said, and possession being 9/10 of the law.
Yeah.
Because I think if we go, let's say, we can definitely say that. Let's say, give Prudence the benefit of the doubt. Let's say that she would only cared about the cauldron. Screw the gems. That's going to be too traceable. Let me just take the cauldron and go. It's it's going to be us against her, arguing about whether or not this belongs to East Haven or not, and why is it going to do East Haven so much more better than it will wherever she's ended up.
This may belie my temperament, and this could be because of the weather and how long I've been here, but people die in the cold all the time.
Yeah,
I do
no.
not think that we need to worry too much, as long as
You're doing Zia again.
as long as the authorities do not find out about it. I am not too worried about their justice. We know the injustice that we've done. So.
David, did you wait for Novellis to get back just to leave? All right. Well, so I think though what. Yeah, I don't. Okay. Hopefully he'll be back in a moment.
Sometimes things just come up.
Yeah.
Yep.
And besides,
Yeah.
one
So
of the things-
what? Yeah, what I was just explaining while you were off camera, Nibilis, is just that Ten Towns is not the sort of place where, they're going to have a detailed log of everybody who came in and out of the East Gate and be willing to cooperate just because you have a letter that has the East Haven Town Speaker's name on it, right? That people mind their own business in Ten Towns.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, all I wanted to do was talk to whoever it is who runs the place that it's most likely that you would want to sell these gems.
Mm-hmm.
That's all, because then we changes what we're watching for and who we're looking for and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Well,
and,
in other news,
yeah.
though, as you are approaching Bryn Shander, you actually do take a gander at the elemental lantern, and it has lit up green.
Hey,
as we're coming up to the gate, right as we're coming up to the gates.
Yeah. So, like, not literally, like, you're 10 feet away from the gate, and it's like you notice as you're getting close to the gate. You're probably not like staring at it like every step, right? So I'm saying that that's when you notice.
Yeah, but we're using it for light as we go. So when everything turns green.
Okay. As you are approaching Bryn Shander, it turns green. That's what it happens.
Okay.
I'm just trying to make it sound like it's not like as you step up and touch the gate, then it turns green.
like-
I'm saying
No,
it's
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Somewhere within a mile.
Yeah.
Yes, it'd be like down towards when we start, probably the incline, like heading towards actual Bryn Shander.
Well,
'cause
you
that's-
don't know. Like it just says it's within a mile, so you have no idea where it is. It doesn't mean it's in the city. It doesn't. It just means that you have now come. There is one within a mile of you, and because you just came from somewhere, you have a good indication that it is going to be at least forward, not backward.
Yeah.
right.
So
Interesting.
make note of it. We can, when this chase is over.
Yes.
But yeah, it could be on the other far side of the town and further out again. To be within a mile. But
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, let's not take any longer here than we have to.
So
But we also have been on the road for almost 8 hours, so it would be a good idea to. All right, I think we should spread out. I will get us some rooms at whatever is a tavern here. I think the rest
Yeah.
of you should
First look.
try and find out if see what you can do to find clues as to
Mm-hmm.
whether someone carrying a big old cauldron around on the back of an axe beak has been seen. And yeah, maybe they don't want to uh, don't want to tell tales on people, but just see what convince them, and don't start any fights.
Oh, of course.
What do you mean, of course?
I said, of course not.
Right, of course not. What do you mean? This
We
is
don't
not.
wanna
This is
start.
not. This does not go without saying with some of you.
Well,
Anyway, all right.
also
And
probably.
I'll go up to one of the guards and say, "Okay, where can I find a tavern for sleeping?"
He directs you to the North Look, which is near the North Gate.
All right.
That is the inn and tavern, and certainly Wilfred and Rowan know that's where they stayed when they were in.
Yeah.
I will go there to actually no. Wilfred, why don't you go there and get us some rooms while I ask around.
Me?
Be
I'll
less
let-
likely to start a fight.
So your kobold companions are in their three kobolds in a coat disguise, and your people are minding their own business. Like you feel like if people were looking closely, they might think something was weird, but no one seems to be. Like everyone's on their own. They're minding their own thing. They're not causing a fuss.
Okay. Can we see any kind of cauldron prints in
No,
the
no.
snow inside the city?
No.
Too busy.
You have long since lost the trail.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone want to? I mean, the gate is guarded, right? It's not just open there.
Yes, but the gates, and like any of the people from 10 Towns could say this, like the gates are not for checkpoints of anyone coming in and out. The gates are, hey, there's an army of orcs coming. We should let the people know so we can barricade.
Okay,
it's,
so
yeah, it's
so anybody who's on watch is up on the walls and they're not paying any attention to
yeah,
individual
like
folks
they
going
can
in.
control the gatehouses and stuff like that, but they are not. This is not a checkpoint where everyone has to show ID or something.
Right. All right.
Yeah.
I no, perhaps I maybe have oh it's NPC, yeah, or puppeteer character.
All right. You folks who are native here, people who've been in town.
Dock
Where
Strider,
would you
that's
sell? Dock Strider. Where would you go if you were selling some gems in this town?
Well, Bryn Shander's not my normal stomping ground, but I mean the sort of the most notable shop in the city is Black Iron Blades, but they sell really like weapons and armor. I mean, there's not really like a gem clearinghouse here because there's actually a number of gem mines in Icewind Dale, but those are not bought and sold here so much as like boxed up for shipment and export.
Right. So you don't know. All right. Then I will start asking around well, actually, is the place where we're going a tavern or
Yes,
or
the
just
north
just an inn?
the North Look is an inn and tavern.
Okay.
It is the most frequented by mercenaries and adventurers.
Okay. Well, then I will go. We'll go there,
Mm-hmm.
and while we're arranging for rooms, I will ask where one would go in this town if I were selling some if I wanted to sell some gemstones.
So they, first of all, let me just reiterate for those who don't remember when we were here before that This is the place where there is Old Bitey. Old
Yes.
Bitey, which is the knucklehead trout up on the wall that occasionally snaps at the unwary. But the inn's proprietor, this is a human named Scramsax, apparently, arranges for the rooms, and then also basically just says that there's not really a shop per se that like this is where you go to sell gems. It's really more of like you arrange like private sales. Like honestly, if I were gonna try to unload some really pricey gems, I wouldn't do it here in Bryn Shander. I'd do it in Targos.
All right, that's very good information. Thank you very much.
Wilfred would ask if he's heard any rumors about some axe beaks hauling a cauldron. Like anybody come and say they saw something like that lately?
Yeah.
No, I don't know anything about cauldron.
Okay.
I mean, like a stew cauldron. He gestures over to
Yeah.
a
Yeah,
cauldron
like
that's
that.
in the stew pot. I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't seem like something that I would especially notice.
Okay.
Well, I heard in East Haven that there was some special cauldron that was stolen from the town speaker.
Ah, news to me. On that, one of the other, a boozed up fellow at the bar says, "Oh yeah? Well, I heard in Tremelaine that there's a mine taken over by kobolds."
Really?
Mm-hmm. Chased all the miners out. That's what I heard.
Interesting.
I heard too that the town speaker tried to send the militia in after him and they wouldn't go.
That's odd. Why?
Well, I don't know. They didn't want to go fight kobolds, I guess. I think it's because the town speaker's weak. He knows that they're trying to get someone else.
Okay. Well, sounds like that's something to remember. But thank you.
So Marcher, I feel like you have a tiny reptilian hand like tugging on your sleeve, coming out from the waist of this coat that's behind you. Hey, did he say kobolds?
Yes, he did. Don't. The kobolds who are taking something that didn't belong to them. This may sound familiar to you.
Well, but they didn't have you to tell them that people would get mad.
That's right. They didn't have me.
Yeah, Marcher. Maybe you could go talk some sense into them.
Well, maybe with these guys, with me, we might be able to learn something from them. Yes, but it is a bit of a distraction from what we're after right now. Hold on to that information. We might use it later.
How far is the town that the proprietor
Tremaine.
was talking about? Tremaine.
So let me show you on the Western Dale map. Tremelaine is a ways away, so you would go up to Targos from Bryn Shander, and then Tourmaline is the, is right here.
And we had wanted to go to Lonelywood to hunt that white elk, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. So it's on the way with the white elk.
Moose. But yeah.
Moose.
It's almost like there was some sort of plan put into place on how stories might be found.
Could be, yeah.
Might be true.
Marcher is also going to ask around, typical carousing style, looking for any information about anybody who's seen the dragon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make a what's I guess charisma check.
Charisma or okay, well that's better than my investigation, so sure.
Yeah.
There we go, and a 10.
Yeah, people, you get the sort of thing like, oh yeah, my sister's aunt's best friend's roommate says that she saw the dragon once 3 months ago. That sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is everyone there at the North Look?
I don't see why
Yeah.
anybody would be
Yeah.
anywhere else.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So the while Rowan, what were you getting up to there?
I just want to ask around about the axe beaks and the cauldron, but also about the white moose and also that white faced thing I saw.
Okay, yeah. You are not having a lot of luck finding out, like no one seems to, like, you get several more reactions of just, like, people carrying a cauldron doesn't seem like it would stand out. Like, people have cauldrons. Like, that's a big one maybe, but, like, no one especially remembers seeing that specifically. About the white moose, you get a couple people who've heard the same thing you have, which is that I guess they're trying to catch a white moose that's attacking people, but they haven't had any luck so far. But as you're kind of sounding people out, you get 3 stocky figures bundled in cold weather garb stumble towards you. They have snowshoes slung over their backs and ice picks fastened to their belts, and 2 of them have thick beards. The third holds up a gloved hand and says, through a thick wool scarf in a raspy voice, that's a little overwritten, well met! I'm Hruna, and these are my friends, Korux and Storm. These are dwarves. We need help, and you look capable.
I speak back to him in Dwarven.
Ah!
What do you need help with?
Well, you see, we're the survivors of a group of dwarves tasked with delivering a sled of iron ingots here to Bryn Shander, but a Yeti surprised us and killed a member of our group. The rest of us fled as the Yeti tore poor Obuk limb from limb. But now we need someone to go back and get the sled for us. As payment, we offer each of you a gemstone worth 50 gold pieces. Up to 6. If you have 6 in your group. I know you were with a couple of those others, but plus the friendship of the dwarves of Icewind Dale can also be a boon in these harsh times. You should know you speak our language. Yeah, you'll. We were looking for someone who looks like they've got experience with overland travel, and we saw your snowshoes. So, what do you say? I mean, it wasn't that far. We just don't know if it's safe to go back there.
Is everyone nearby me? Is everybody nearby me?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Some-
Or call us over.
Yeah, I'll call you guys over, and I explain to you all. So these fine gentlemen have run aground of an issue. They were attacked by a Yeti, not far from here. And
Yeah.
we still have to go find the elementals. It would give us a chance to see where that signal was. Maybe if that signal was coming from near where they were attacked.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
specifically, they tell you that the sled is about halfway between Bryn Shander and Kelvin's Cairn. So you would have to go overland, and it's not like right outside the city, but just to be clear.
Okay. So in a straight line from Enchanter to Kelvin's Cairn?
Yes, because that's the journey they were making.
Yeah. No, I was just verifying to make sure I was understanding correctly.
Yes.
Or Kelvin's Cairn or the Dwarven Valley. It's about the
So,
same.
okay. They were coming from the Dwarven Valley. And where the sled is about halfway between Bryn Shander and Kelvin's Cairn.
Okay. So it would be a diversion from going from Targos to Tourmaline.
Yeah. I
No,
mean,
we can. We can make the travel from here to where they were, and then just go to Tourmaline after that.
Right.
Well,
except we
yeah,
have
although-
business in Targos.
well, you would also
Uh.
presumably need to come back to Bryn Shander. That's where they were trying to bring the iron to.
Yeah.
But up to you.
I don't think we have time to divert from this immediately. But we can come back.
All right. Well, I guess look for us here. We're gonna try to figure out something. But if you change your mind in the next couple of days, let us know.
Okay.
I think we could go and search for it later, but we have business in Targos.
Fair enough. Thanks for your time, sirs. And yeah, sirs.
Well, there's not much more we can do here now, unless you want to try to find an unsavory place that unsavory characters would collect, and see if maybe they would know of anything. But that could also spark some trouble.
This looks fairly unsavory to me.
I was thinking more along the same type of unsavory that we ran across in the town with the undead guy.
Yeah, we're not burly enough for that kind of unsavory.
Yeah.
Do we want to spend the night here and then go on to Targos? Or head on to Targos because it's only a couple more hours?
I say just head to Targos. It's only a couple hours.
And then Doc Strider said that he could put us up in Targos?
Yeah, I could. I have the favor, you might say. I know some of the people there.
That sounds like a good idea. Yeah. Two potential cons says before, is so much more reasonable than 7 or 8.
Yeah. So if you were going to try to make Targos tonight, it's 2 more hours of travel.
Okay. Yeah, that's a lot more feasible, and we can have a good night's sleep and then start on our investigation in the morning.
All right. So is that the plan then?
That's the plan.
All right. So you all leave you leave the Northlook Tavern behind, head out through the North Gate. Actually, before you're out of the gate, you're close to the North Gate when you. Here, hang on. Yeah, so you see there's a snow-covered cottage near the gate, and you see a bundled up figure stomping out of the house, and you see she's like yelling at the wind, and when she sees you, she says, "You watch out! The wind is got a curse lately. You better watch out for that wind. The trickster brings trickster spirits. They've been opening my windows at night, sending horrible chills through and knocking over my cups and plates, stealing my cutlery."
Sounds like the elemental stuff the elementals would do. And Arlene said the creatures we're looking for elementals, actually like elemental.
Well, I mean, they're nature spirits. Like, if you want to talk
Yeah.
about, like, mechanically what kind of creature type are they are elementals. I mean,
Okay.
that's why your spirit,
Yeah.
your elemental lantern finds them. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah. We'll keep an eye out for them, for that.
You just watch out for them. They're going to do all sorts of mischief.
I'm sorry, Christiana. I seem to be coming down with something. I don't think I'm going to be able to play any further.
Okay, well, so maybe it's a good time then to go ahead and we'll leave it for tonight, and hopefully we'll have a slightly more
Arranged.
well, yeah, so a little bit less flustered, a little bit less chaotic session next time.
No,
but
it happens. It
yeah,
happens.
when we got some new hooks, got some travel under your belt, and
Yes.
so we will reconvene next week for more Rime of the Frostmaiden on so many levels.
Hey.
Yay.
Right.
Right.